Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, the Millionaire Gold Mines. Woohoo, ladies and gentlemen. Investors' wealth made now. We didn't see this coming on Monday night, did we? Come on now, ladies and gentlemen. You have to be in the stock market game. You got to be involved with equities because this is like shooting fish in a barrel if you know what you're looking at on a stock market chart. Trump and his minions are doing exactly what we thought losers would do: disrupt the world economy, and now you can take huge advantages. I love it. You guys should be singing. You should be raising the roof. You should be doing the salsa dance. You should be moving a different way because you can make money every day. You should be paying attention to the stock market day and night. That's right. Even as this live stream's going on, you should have a screen up if you are a stock market trader. If you're not, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Stop struggling now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you so much for being here. Please share the videos because you never know who's out here looking for information, who does not even know that they could actually do something while there is turmoil in North Africa, aka the Middle East. Now, welcome again because you should be very, very excited even if you don't know how to trade that well. We've been leaving the candlestick trading Bible for everybody to go get, go look up, go study, put yourself in position to win. Now, as you guys may not know, I'm the newbie to stock market trading. I did not do it for 99.95% of my lifetime. I said, shh, I don't want to get involved with that. I don't see the point. Well, now I see why my friends used to always say, hey man, you got to get in this stock trading game. Now I see. It's much different. It took a little while to learn, don't get me wrong. But the sooner you get in and start studying and paying attention, the better you will be. And especially in markets like this is so volatile that even a beginner, and I hate to say this, a person could see the candlesticks and pretty much figure out what's going to happen. Simply because we know when somebody says something in our news, this isn't your grandpa's 1980 stock market, 1990 stock market, 2000 stock market. This is the Trump era stock market. He says things and the markets react, not based on fundamentals. It's just based on feelings. So therefore, you can take advantage. Therefore, you should learn. And that's why I put the stock market trading Bible, candlestick trading Bible. The PDF is in the chat room. So everybody can see it. No matter where you're watching from, it should be in your chat room. There should be a link so you can go check it out yourself, get it. It's 168 pages. Get started today. If you are new to markets and don't understand, this stock market trading Bible will go a long way. Plus, you have the help of social media. Just keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, because this is one for the ages. The transfer of wealth is happening right underneath your feet. And once you learn, it won't matter because the stock markets are not going away right now. It's after hours trading in the US. Right now, the Asian markets are open, so you could actually take advantage right now. Then, a little bit later, by the time this live stream ends, it'll be London stock market time. Just saying. Okay, post-retirement travel. Another investor's in the house. He uses something called the wheel strategy for his options trading. I still don't know what that is. I have not graduated, ladies and gentlemen, to that episode. But nonetheless, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream post-retirement travel. Mr. Worldwide 2 is here. And I also like that icon next to your name, which means he's a member of the channel. Thank you so much for being a member. I humbly appreciate that. And he brings a tagline. Hello, all. Let's do this. And I know he's out here happy. I know he's doing the salsa dance. I know what he's saying. We told you on Monday and Friday when the stock market is down, you should buy a little bit more. I know. And I'm going to use his other cachet, his comments that he makes. Just like buying coffee, a little bit of cup of coffee and what you buy per day, you should be investing in the stock market. All right, just simple stuff, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's keep it moving. Let me see what else is happening. Post-retirement travel says, yes, sir, doing the salsa dance. Now you understand why I've been backing up the stock market truck and kept loading up. Are there any questions? Cashola, dinero, never a question. And I am very happy because once again, if you're new here, we don't actually have to give you stock symbols. If you want some, okay. But the fact of the matter is just basic index funds will do you wonders. Simply, and then if you like some of these specialty winning stocks, you know, like the big boys, the blue chips as they say, right? The FANG stocks, let's just call it what it is, right? Apple, Nvidia, Tesla, Microsoft, Amazon, just to name a few. The stock market pops, their stock pops. Stock market goes down, their stocks go down. Why? Because their stocks are weighted on the indexes. That's right. Some stocks get preferential treatment, meaning it's weighted more on the stock market. So a good day like today, they pop. And so many more. It's like there's a run up. And then the ceasefire just lasted less than 12 hours because you knew Israel was not going to cooperate. They have no interest in having peace in the Middle East. They are the terrorists. So, sure enough, they go, let's go over to Lebanon and bomb them, which was part of the Iran 10-point agreement. And now it's back on, ladies and gentlemen. So that means the markets, even after hour, took dips and it took back off. So you had another way to win. When the market goes down, you win. And when the market goes up, you win if you do stock market trading. All right, let's go. I like the cash at the end of that because it is a banner day and we knew it was coming. And just like it's going up, it could easily go down again. Because as we now know, there's no agreement for real. The Strait of Hormuz is closed. So therefore, we might be back to a down day. But you know what's funny? Overnight, there was a downside and then it went back up. Now, what am I talking about? The top 30 USD stocks, which are basically what moves the market the most, really. But nonetheless, that's what's so funny. There were 2 opportunities after hours to make a decent amount of money if you know how to stock trade. And it's not really rocket science because the signs, big candles are there. It's not like you had to guess. Big candle, then another big candle going up, and then it went up. Big candle going down, another big candle, short half the candle going down. That means downward trend. Sure enough, it happened. But this isn't the norm. Just let me warn you. Things like this do happen, but not this often. I mean, we're talking about less than, what am I on right now? 5 minutes? Let me go. What is that? Less than an hour? No, that's, yeah. 1 hour. 1 hour difference. Just saying, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So we doing real time stuff. We got to talk about it. And I want to know what you guys are thinking about this because you have an opportunity. So first off, I got you the Stock Market Trading Bible. Some of you may be new here, so you know what comes next. That means I have to give you the CoinEx. I use CoinEx. There's a reason I use the CoinEx broker. You need a broker if you're going to do stock market trading, okay? Take Profit Traders, I remember that name, as a broker. You can go to Trading View if you want to go to Trading View, and at the bottom they have brokers. All right, just so you understand, there's a ton of brokers. All have demo accounts, so therefore you can practice if you don't know how to trade. All right, but I use CoinEx for a reason, and I tell everybody right now, a broke country means one thing and one thing only. Sooner or later, they have to take your money, your assets, and you're going to be patriotic about it, right? Wink, wink, hardly, not even. I use CoinEx because they're outside the United States jurisdiction. They are not regulated by the United States government, so therefore, the United States government can't go and raid the treasury. It's that simple. So, as protection against crazy, I'll deal with CoinEx. So, I'm going to put the CoinEx link down below in the chat room. All right. Hopefully, you guys will look at that. If you don't want to, I just gave you where you can go. You can go to TradingView, and down at the bottom, they have a list of brokers, and you can sign up, and they all have demo accounts. So you can at least learn how to trade that way. All right. So hopefully that helps you out on the front side. Now, I got to deal with something else because I can't put this in here. I have some information when we had our 3-point plan starting 2 years, 8 months ago. And the countdown ends December 31st, 2026. So that was when you needed a few things in order. A bank account outside the United States, because this is a millionaire's gold mine. You have to act like a millionaire. They keep offshore accounts, offshore businesses. So that means you need an offshore bank account both, and an offshore business, which also could be offshore real estate. Once you have real estate offshore, then you automatically could have business because then you could have short-term rentals or long-term rentals. So offshore money stays offshore. You don't have to bring it back on. But let's just get real. If you have a bank account outside the United States, they also have a debit, Visa, MasterCard, meaning you can use it inside the United States. Right? Just saying. Okay? Just like CoinEx brokerage account, when I send my profit using crypto, I'm sending it to an account that's outside of the U.S. jurisdiction. Again, do you understand now, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, and by the way, not illegal. Just saying. All right? But I do like to have my own choice. I do not want my stuff hemmed up like at Coinbase. Talking about, oh, we got to hold your money for X amount of days because you've never downloaded this amount before. Or you've never put this much money into your account, so we're going to hold for 6 days. Why? It doesn't take 6 days to withdraw out of bank accounts even. But that's what they're doing. So anytime people have restrictions unnecessarily, I start thinking, maybe I don't want you to hold anything. Because if you're doing that for something that's pretty basic, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have problems later. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why I have CoinEx. Please use that link. It's MetaTrader 4 and 5, which is relatively simple. it's not simple, but there are YouTube, social media that you can actually look and get. So it's very helpful. All right, let's go. All right, hey Eric, have you pulled the Forex trigger with real money? I've been using real money. So, just so you know. Now, you're using the term Forex. I don't really use that. And if you're talking about, in fact, no, I have. In fact, hold on a second. I need to do something. Now that you're talking about this, which pairs are you using? Let me go use. Let me go see if this will work. USD, Japanese yen. How about that? No, I don't use that. Nope. Sorry. XAU, USD 30, NASDAQ. That's it. I don't even use SPX, which is MetaTrader thing. I don't use SPY. I haven't traded SPY. Just so you know, NASDAQ, top 30, USD, XAU, USD. And after hours, yeah, it looks like there was been 2 pops, 3 pops. I mean, this is the gold, and gold is going, well, it doesn't matter which direction. It's going down, then going back up almost the same amount, going back down, and then going back up to a higher high, then going back down almost to a lower lows. Yeah, that's a great movement after hours. Trader's dream. Let me see what silver's doing. Silver's kind of the same, but yeah, this is getting crazy right now. This is beautiful. All right, so what was I gonna do? Oh yeah. No, I don't trade the Forex that you're talking about. Although the USD versus Japanese yen JPY, again, over in the Asian markets, there was a huge movement to the downside at 159, 159.5, and big huge candle on the hourly. That means, and then over the last 3 hours, an upward trend. Wow. Holy smokes. For the last 3 hours, 20 minutes. Yeah, that would have been a good day on the Forex market. Post-retirement travel, are you trading the Forex? Because that would have been a very good day. Or shall I say late night. This is crazy. This is 3 hours. All you had to do was, yeah, they don't even have sweeps coming down. All you had to do was start like 3 hours ago on the rise for the big candle and just sit there, and it just has gone up from, most people would have entered in a certain location. Let's see, 158, 515, and it's now at 158, 915. That would have been a good swing trade for somebody. I'll just put it that way. Very nice. No, I'm not into any of the dollar pairs, but all I do know is that is pretty interesting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Fred, I see you. Thank you so much for being in the house. And by the way, stop struggling now gear, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody's coming to save you. You know what that means. All I can tell you is, if you consider healthcare, if you consider jobs, livable wage jobs, I don't count jobs. I always use livable wage jobs, because a regular job where people have to work 2 jobs just to make it for the price of one, and then they have to work part-time for a third, that is not a decent living, no matter where you live, right? America used to be one household up until around the 70s. Then it was 2 people needed to work. Now it's more than 2 people to survive. We're almost getting back to a communion type of situation. Family, friends live in the same area so that they share the cost kind of thing is going on in America. Or you're homeless. and homeless is on the rise. There's no way to count it because everybody's getting squeezed. Nobody is taught in school. I shouldn't say the word nobody. Very few people are taught to be entrepreneurs, to take risk. Most people, the way our system is, you're taught to take direction, take orders, read books, comply, and a few say, well, I'm going to take a risk. And but there's not that many people that have been in that I'm going to take a risk role, just like stock market trading is a risk. Most people don't look at that they want to be an entrepreneur because there's a risk involved. 9 out of 10 fail. There's startup costs, there's paperwork. It's easier to just go work for somebody else who handles all that and collect a paycheck no matter what your performance is at work. But if you have your own business, your performance matters. The people you hire matters. If you're not going to be in today, it matters. So there's a different dynamic and a piece of comfort when you can go to work, collect a 40-hour week paycheck. Well, has anybody's been paying attention? Have you guys been paying attention? Some more people are gotten laid off. We're talking about like tens of thousands of people are getting laid off at major corporations. They're getting hit as we speak. I don't even know what anybody's looking at because it's getting out of hand. So therefore, those people are going to be at risk because they are sitting looking for a job. Well, guess what? There's not that many livable wage jobs left. If you shut me down and say, I don't want anything to do with EV, I don't want a country says, I don't want to have nothing to do with EVs. I don't have nothing to do with solar. I don't want to have nothing to do with green energy. We're going to use coal. We're going to use oil. Those are livable wage jobs. And that also puts us behind for technology. So now not only do you have the technology jobs, the R&D jobs, the sales job, the contractor jobs, all those are bye-bye. Not all, but all I'm trying to say is it's reduced significantly. The blade builders, right? For the fans, let's get real. All those jobs, when we were to put some new fans out there, what about all those jobs? Those would have been livable wage jobs too. But instead, you're reducing them, trying to stop it. Again, R&D, technology, the builders, the equipment movers, transportation, all that missing from our link. And that would have helped millions of jobs just between two industries. And instead, they say, nope, we can't do that. That is a problem. And now the rest of the world gets to move ahead faster than us, just like the EV vehicles. America protecting electric vehicle companies against the competition from around the world. You know what it's like is when you're a punk ass, right? It's like, I don't want competition, so I'll just block them. But see, the problem is you block them, they still outperform you to the rest of your competitors, to the rest of your customers. So they get to go bypass you around the world. Then you make your own citizens pay more money for product that is not world class. And therefore, when people leave the country and go around, they find out, wait a minute, what's this thing over here? This car over here, what's happening? I see people getting picked up, tapping on the window. What, they're getting in the car and it's leaving. What the heck's going on? Right. So we're over here with Waymo, Tesla, and all these guys testing stuff. Around the world, they already have robo-taxis. I'm just like, this is already a thing. They already have mass transit. We don't. But we got 1 trillion to spend for war. And that means, ladies and gentlemen, volatility is in your favor. So don't get mad. Learn how to win. Based on when the millionaires and the billionaires F up, you got to be there to take advantage. And some of us actually like when they don't F up and you try to school them and do some stuff. Like I said, I'm talking a little bit of mess because I am involved with trying to do something that starts next week. And it doesn't start what I'm actually doing. I have to do some research myself, right? I have everything in place and I'm about to change an industry if I can pull this off. The only problem is, in order for me to pull this off, I'm going to have a willing participant in the industry who wants to win and take over. Like shot out of a candle, a cannon rather, not a candle, shot out of a cannon. I need that. And that's where the problem comes in, because if I tell one of them, they'll probably try and steal what I'm trying to do. They won't know how to fully operationally do it, but I can't let the cat out the bag because this would take down an industry. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I love that kind of thing. Trust me, it's going to be one badass day if it happens. But it's going to take me a lot. It's going to take me about 7 months. Well, I'm trying to streamline it. I'm trying to figure out if I can do this within 1 or 2 months so I don't take 7 months and then find out I have a dead end. Because I kind of have one little linchpin in this dead end, is that the industry has gatekeepers. And those gatekeepers want to try to keep all the money and screw everybody as they do now. And I figured out a way where they can't block it once we're through the door. We kick the door in. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, damn, what the? That's what's going to happen. All right. And then you guys might see me having problems with the feds and with our government changing laws and rules. All right. So they can make the millionaires win and billionaires boys club win. But anyhow, I get a kick out of it. So we're going to do it again, I believe, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be making calls this weekend. So back to the situation at hand. Millionaires gold mines. Speaking of some gold mines, think about some of the things that's happening right now that has nothing to do with Trump's war. Think about while you're driving in your car and you're listening to music. You know somebody's getting paid every time you listen to a song, whether it's on YouTube, any social media platforms, any radio station. Royalties is a thing. Owning rights to songs is a thing, right? Just saying. So think about ownership for things that are replayed. Things that nobody can have, such as art, for instance. Some people go, art is not an asset. I don't agree. Art is an asset. All right? I'm sure there's some people right now going, Eric, why aren't you talking about crypto? Well, let's get real. Crypto is volatile. And seeing how today, I just now looked at it, it's been riding down pretty much all evening long. So again, people had an opportunity to trade because it was at just a few hours ago at 71,000. Now it's down 71,450, and then it dropped all the way down to 70,610. So that's a lot of ways down that you could have been making money, ladies and gentlemen. So again, there's opportunity right now that's beyond belief. This is like once in a lifetime, because you do maybe you don't understand. This would never happen. None of this would have happened. No president would have done this. So things wouldn't have been this volatile. They would have just been going on about their business. So markets wouldn't have been this volatile. Up 1,000, 1,100 points in one day for the Dow Jones. Come on. That's insane. That happened so often in the last year. That just tells you how volatile everything is. So what I'm trying to say is, you're going to have to get in the game, ladies and gentlemen. As I've always said, Millionaire's Gold Mine, you need to play with the Millionaire's Gold Mine. The Billionaire Boys Club, you need to play where their gold mine is. Equities. Commercial basically should mean to you anything that generates money. That's what you should be looking at. Okay, here we go. We have somebody, DJ Blends. Welcome. To the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Thank you so much for being in the house. Get in where you fit in. Allegedly market manipulation. There's no allegedly, man. There is market manipulation. This is why you should be in the markets, because you know it's market manipulation. In fact, what is Trump gonna say later tonight? I mean, the ceasefire's over, but they're going to say something. And again, I hate that we're in this cycle, this timeline right now, because now all it takes is some person to, president to say da 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 da, whether it makes sense or not, and the markets are going to react. And just not in America, but around the world, which is kind of wild. This isn't really trading. This is like craziness, but you have to take advantage. And that's exactly right, DJ Blends. Get in where you fit in, because not everybody has the same knowledge, the same skill, the same work ethic, the same money management skills, the same financial literacy. So therefore, this is why we always drop the link for Candlestick Trading Bible, so then people can actually get their broker account set up, do demos, start studying in case you're behind the curve like I was like 9 months ago. That's right, 9 months, that's it. I've never stock traded at all. All I did was buy stocks, get dividend stocks, buy stocks. They go up in price, we win. Dividends, 12%, 11%, 10% annually, 15%. Our real estate investment trust, for instance, right now, ARR, IVR, high risk, high rewards, when you start talking about 17, 18%, right? Annual returns if you buy at today's price, right? High risk PSEC, because now it's down under $3 per share. But do you like 13, 14%? That's the question annually. Real estate investment trust. Capital. So AGNC, JP Morgan, 11% annually. That's right, JEPQ. Who's gonna bat an eye about this? Who doesn't like 11% annually? Who doesn't like 14% annually, 15% annually? And the stock price can stay relatively the same or just rise $1 or in either direction, but you're still getting your percentage on the money you invested. So, stock market trading, you could make money as we speak right now, because it overlaps. We have an Asian market running right now. Then the London market's going to come up. There's others too. There's Australian markets and things like that. But the point is, as they open, more people come online. But the U.S. stock market is the granddaddy of them all. All right, get in where you fit in is exactly right here. That's how it has to be. Sitting on the sidelines, watching the parade go by, going, hey, nice to see you. Sitting there doing that crap, you're getting left behind, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Eric, have you pulled the Forex trigger with real money? No, I have not. Okay, I was just re-answering it again. But watching the parade go by, ladies and gentlemen, is costly. You could have made money in the last 2-3 days with stock market trading, with options trading, doing all this, buying stocks, and you didn't have to do much in a lot of ways, because it's so volatile that if you study and understand what's happening, then you would have been on the right side of the trade. So you might have gotten out of the trade, but you would have said, okay, I got enough profit, so whatever happens, I don't really care. And because it's going to reverse sooner or later. But the point is, looking at, if you understand the candlesticks, then all of a sudden you're like, okay, I see where this is going. Now you just got to figure out where you're going to exit at, right? How much profit you're going to take. Now, when this happens 2 or 3 times within a 3-hour period, like what's happening right now in the last 3 hours for the US 30, sheesh. Volatility galore in the last 2.5 hours, 3 hours. There was money to be made once, twice, 3, 4, and actually 5 times if you were on in 3 hours. But then again, some people would have been happy with just 1 hour, 35, 40 minutes, because there would have been 2 nice little wins. So hard to say. All right. I'm not going to be on here too long tonight. Once again, I've had a long day, and I just want to come on because the Millionaire's Gold Mine is your gold mine. And it's like I said, woo-hoo, raise the roof, do the salsa dance. You should be singing and dancing and doing everything. And then getting right back, because in the next 24 hours, there's going to be another reaction to everything that happened today. And because we know Iran is, it should be, what time is it? It should be like, what, 5 in the morning right now? Something like that, 5 or 4 a.m. So we know in the next 4 hours something's going to happen. So if you live on the East Coast, it might be a little late. On the West Coast, you might still be up. And so something's going to happen between now and the next 4 hours with the markets. And they're already happening right now. So if you were in the markets, and even if it's the Asian markets, even if it's going to be the London market, Australian markets, it does not really matter, because your broker allows you to trade 24 hours. There's just less people, less volume traditionally with the other stock markets, because the United States stock market has a high volume. The rest of the world is invested in the U.S. stock market. So they get money from the Middle East. They get money from the whole world. And this volatility means lots of people are enjoying wins. And also the hedge funds, they're here. BlackRock, Vanguard, all them guys are here. And they're buying millions of dollars worth of stock. That's how this is working, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why you're having volatility going down and up, because these guys are pouring millions in to buy or sell at a moment's notice. And therefore, you're going to have these huge swings. And all it takes is 2 or 3 of these guys to go in on the same time frames. And next thing you know, we have big, huge candles that you love to see. And you love to see reverses with big candles as well, just so you know. All right, let's go. First of all, the 3 tenets, as I was mentioning, you have December 31st, you need your credit score at 775. And again, why do you need that 775 credit score? It's very simple. Because I want you guys to be able to take advantage of the 0% interest for 36 months. Some of you might be going, Eric, what are you talking about? There is no such thing. You know what? I'm going to go look right now, because I think something's going to happen. Interest, let me Google just to make sure. For 36 months, credit card. Let's see if there is one yet that's on the open market. I'm waiting. This is why you need to be in on this, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, we might have something. 4/8/2026. We have 21 months, which we knew. But even then, because on your way up, you can get the 0% for 20 months, 21 months, as they say. You can get the 0% for 15 months. You can get 0% for 24 months, 0% for 9 months. All of that's on the table right now. But you want to be able to have a transfer for 36 cycles. I'm looking. There is no 36. We're still at 21, 15, 24 months. Even then, 24 is not even that. It's 21 billing cycles. 15 months. Yeah, it looks like I'm going down a list. Nobody's still doing the 36. Not yet. Hardly anybody's even doing the 24. Most are doing the 20. There's another 12 month from Citi. So most of them are settling in at 21, even though there are 24s. But all I'm trying to say is you got to be prepared, ladies and gentlemen. This will give you a head up, a leg up, should not head up, but leg up, because once again, think about all the cards that people have. We have all-time record high credit cards, debt for ordinary citizens, you and me, OCs, all right? All-time record highs. So that means people are tapped out. So in order to get untapped out, you're going to have to figure out wait, what's this? You're going to have to reduce your debt. And once you reduce your debt, then you'll have available funds to invest, even if it's a little. But it doesn't take much, especially on these volatile markets. That's all I'm trying to say. Again, I see something. There aren't any 0% interest for 36 months available right now. Okay, so we're still not there. Okay, but check this out. U.S. Bank, all right, thieves, but nonetheless, U.S. Bank has a 24-month. There's some people saying they will give you a 36 plus months without interest. Okay. Yeah, and then somebody says 21 months by Citi, Wells Fargo, U.S. Bank. 24 months by U.S. Bank. 24 months is long enough because that's what some people were saying. But I want that. I want you guys to be ready for the 36. Because imagine 3 years at 0% interest, where 99.9% of what you pay goes towards the principal. Versus these other things that you guys are carrying around, 24%, 21%, 30%, 35%, doing all this crazy. So, yeah, there's no 36 yet, but I'm predicting we still got about 4 or 5 months. I think my prediction is going to come true. Let me see. Let me go look right now. Let's go 5 months. That'd be September. Yeah, that's about right. 4 to 5 months. So I was right. October, September, October. Yeah, May, October. Yeah, September, October, somewhere in there. I expect to see a 36 month. Somewhere. I see U.S. Bank, who again stole money from me, but I can't recommend them. But they apparently have a 24-month, and they'll give you a 36. But I'm pretty sure that has to do with some sort of transfer. But that's the point. You want to make sure you can transfer your existing credit at those stupid, ridiculous rates, even if it's 17%. That's still stupid, ridiculous. You want to make sure that you get that up there. The millionaire, billionaire gold mine is that they're able to shuffle their debt around to get their interest reduced. So now they have more money to play with. Basically, you need to think along those same lines. All right? Think of those same lines. All right? So I'm going to end this tonight. I'm not going to be on here too long. But I just want to get you guys back with the gold mine set. The millionaire gold mine should be your gold mine, because you're going to have to be a millionaire in order to survive in about, 2 years or less, because our deadline is December 31st, 2026. Just keep that in mind. Tomorrow, we have another thing. The Bankus card that I've had right here. Remember those winnings? The crypto goes onto the Bankus card that's outside of the United States. It's in Mexico. So therefore, my crypto stays outside the U.S. territories. Just so you guys understand, when I do stock market trading, it will never come back to a U.S. regulated facility that reports to the IRS or the United States government and give them my information. Sorry, not going to happen. They're going to give them my information when I sent 1,000 or 1,200 up. But they're going to be like, well, what came down? Nothing. Good. That's exactly what I want them to report. Nothing. Okay? So, this card, Bankus, this is a membership, so to speak. You have to buy the card. They are back with Visa cards and MasterCards. So, you can buy a plastic card or a metal card. The plastic card, $50 shipped. No matter where you live in the world. I'll tell you about that in a second. But the most important part is, on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m. and 8 p.m., they have a Zoom call. So you don't have to hear it from me. You can hear it from some other horses' mouths. So please use the link. Download the app. That's all I request. Download the app, because there is a benefit for downloading the app. And then once you download the app, tell your friends and family and whoever to download the app, because you can actually send money to them at no cost. As long as you have their email address, you can send money to them internally with Bankus to Bankus at zero cost. So no matter where the other person is in the world, you can get money to them. So every family member should be at least downloading the app, and then use your link, send your link to them after you download the app. So then they just sign up on the app because there's a virtual card. Just saying. That's the easiest thing right there, right? There's some people watching this right now who have family members outside the United States, and what do? You wire them money? What do you use to send them money? Because they're not going to have a U.S. bank account, right? In another country, or if they're from here, then you can, well, I don't even know if you can go down to the bank anymore and deposit money these days, because they're asking you, do you have a bank account at that branch when I try to deposit cash? It's crazy what's happening out here. But nonetheless, so if you're in crypto and you can upload crypto to your Bankus card, guess what? That means you have money on your card. And that means you can send money to anybody in the world as long as they have a Bankus account too, and the persons do have a virtual card once you sign up on the app. So use the link, ladies and gentlemen. That's the first phase of this whole thing. The second phase is yes. If you refer people and they buy the card, there's a metal card that's $100, all right? Either card, but the metal card doesn't have tap features. But nonetheless, whoever buys a card, you get commission of, I don't know, 10% or 8.5. I don't know what it is. You can find out tomorrow on the Bankus Zoom call, okay? It's that simple. Cassius Randall, very happy to see you on another platform. I'm putting in the Bankus links and the Zoom calls for tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern. And Wednesdays, they have training. Fridays, they have trainings in case people kind of have a problem with, using the app, don't understand where the virtual card is, can't activate, whatever. They have that. But this is also a moneymaker. Because if you refer people and they load money on their cards, you do also receive commission. It's that simple too. But like I said, my motivation is to make sure people keep their money outside the United States regulations accounts. Some people would say, like we have people that have said, hey, you feel safe by doing that. Well, I will say this again in case you're new here. The United States, so-called safe spaces have stole money from me before. They're regulated. That didn't stop banks from hijacking my brokerage account. That didn't stop banks from stealing money from my savings or checkings accounts. No, it only protected them, saying, sue us, saying, no, we're not going to give you your money back. Even though we messed up, you can prove it. Get out of our place, security. He's in here arguing about his money, but security, this is crazy. All right. So these are the things, lessons you learn sooner or later if it happens to you. All right. I use Robinhood to send money to family outside the USA. I normally send USDC crypto to their wallets. That's a way to do it. That's the way to do it. USDC is cheap. You're generally, 1% or something? That's inexpensive. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. But again, you've said exactly the right thing. I send family USDC crypto to their wallets. Regulated exchanges or not? That's the question. But he said to their wallets. So hopefully it's outside of, again, it's hard to get outside the regulatory environments, especially if you're using central exchanges. So anyhow, I'm glad, because that's the way of the world. That's the way the world needs to move now, because every country basically is going to be the same. I mean, they're all trying to make sure they can track everything you do with your money, which is not freedom. So I like it. Robinhood, that's interesting that you say USDC, because I thought Robinhood was using a derivative. I didn't think they actually use crypto. They're actually using using a derivative. But anyhow, maybe they've changed. At least that's what it was before. I don't buy crypto on Robinhood, so I don't know. But I do. I did have crypto on Robinhood, but they told me it was synthetics. It's not actually crypto. So I find that very interesting. So we'll see how that all pans out. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear you're doing that because that is the way it should be. And I just say it's better if they don't know how to track it. If it's not trackable. Because that also means they can snatch stuff if it is. But nonetheless, I like it. I like it. Unstoppable domain. By the way, get your own unstoppable domain so then that way you don't have to give people an alphanumeric character. You can just say ssnlifestyle.crypto. Stopstrugglingnow.crypto. ericbird.crypto. Yes, I have all those domain names from Unstoppable Domain. Exactly. So all I have to do is somebody send me crypto. All I have to do is give you those whatever domain name I want that I have. I also have stopstrugglingnow.nft. That's right. So I don't have to give you an alphanumeric character. I just have to give you that. Right? Sure. The person sends it to me, and then it's going to go to a wallet. All that's trackable. That's a transaction hash ID. Simple. But still, I like whatever protections I can have. That's one unstoppable domain for 10 or 15 or 20 bucks. And the thing is, there's no annual fee because it's Web3. And you can actually put a website or mint it. And then you can actually put a 2-3 page website up. And since it's not on the ISP, it's on the blockchain. That means it could never be taken down. Just saying. This is just for future, just in case they're able to figure out a way to reduce size of a blockchain so you can actually put more memory on there or something like that. There's always somebody that's smart in the world that's going to be able to come figure out something they can do. So if they ever have that, then all of a sudden now you're going to have a Web3 that doesn't cost you an annual fee like the domain names, right? The first thing is the domain names. My domain names come up. What do they charge now? $20 or something? Back in the day, it used to be like $3, $4 to renew your domain names. Now it's like 20 some dollars. All right. Web hosting used to equally be like 10 bucks, 7 bucks, whatever. 60 bucks a year or 50 bucks a year, whatever. Now all of a sudden these guys are sending me stuff talking about, oh yeah, you got to give us 250 bucks a year. I'm like, what? What do you? But here again, the Web3 blockchain, one-time payment, no annual fee. The website, no fee for hosting because it's on the blockchain. You see where this goes, ladies and gentlemen? So for the low price of about $10, $15, $20, get your unstoppable domain. Why not? It's a one-time payment. All right? No matter what platform you're watching from, you should have this link. And anybody watching this on replay and you can't find the live chat to get the link, tap the first comment and then swipe left. No, swipe right. And I think comes up some menu and it'll say live chat. Then you press on that and then the live chat will open up if you're on the mobile device. Just saying. All right. So hopefully that helps out a few people with that as well, because we want you guys to at least make money and then figure out where you're going to be able to keep it. Send it. Make sure you're able to make that happen. All right. Now, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm almost out. It's 55 minutes in. I think this is going to be a short one. This is also going to be on the podcast. I want to welcome everybody listening on the podcast around the world. Thank you so much for your support. And make sure you hit that star on the Sirius Network favorites. All right? Do that, please. And also, iHeart, Spotify, all you guys. I love you. I love you guys. Thank you for your support around the world, because we got Mr. Worldwide in the house too, is here. And so has anybody seen the trailer yet? Any trailer? Anybody who has joined us, have you seen a trailer? It looks kind of weird. This trailer I left today was one that again, I don't have too many of these that I can show anymore. I used to have them lined up. I think there was 7, 8, or 9 of them, maybe even 10. But now I'm going to have to download them myself because I had them on some other hardware. And so I don't know where they are, so I'm going to have to retrieve these. But I put one now that should have been at a show. So did anybody see the trailer tonight? Apparently they're not showing my trailer for the live streams. So let me see. I showed one. These aren't even really trailers. These are just easy ones. But I'll do this one right here. All right, before we end.
Come on, come on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the SSN lifestyle. That's what you have to do. Have fun. No, haven't seen it yet. Oh, man. Okay. No trailer. Sheesh. Well, thanks for letting me know. People used to see it when they used to come in, and for some reason the trailer's not showing, and I don't know why. Anyhow, that's the type of trailer that you might see, but not this one. I have a different one lined up tonight, but apparently nobody sees the trailers. This is par for the course. I expect this kind of thing. You know, no love out here in these social media streets with these platforms, but it's okay. Other platforms show love. So I just want to thank all the platforms that show the love. Just because, trying to help the OCs, ordinary citizens. So with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here this evening. I love you guys very much. I appreciate your support over all these years, but just make sure you start learning to protect yourself. Many different ways that you can do it. And that includes even trust. And again, I've seen so many trailers or advertisements about trust. And one that annoys me the most is when people say, protect yourself. And I'm like, we live in the most litigious country in the world. So anybody can sue you for anything at any time. And they say you should have a living trust. And I'm like, hold up, man. A living trust, just so you guys understand, means that you are the grantor and the trustee. That means you control the trust, and it is looked upon and will be pierced if there was a lawsuit. Because whatever is in that trust, they are going to say, since you run it, you own it, that's part of your estate. So again, I've been seeing a ton of these guys saying this nonsense, and I'm like, hold up, man. You're putting people in jeopardy, letting them think that a living trust is cannot be attacked. And you will lose because you control it. The only way you win is if your assets are not in your possession and you do not control it. And that is an irrevocable trust. There's pour over trust, yes. But again, anybody can sue you at any time, not just after you're dead. So therefore, it will be pierced if you're the trustee and the grantor. So you can be the grantor, but you cannot be the trustee. So if that's an irrevocable trust, and therefore your assets are there, so if there is a lawsuit, that is separate. That is considered not. But that also brings on some other things such as you want to go down and you can't go down and get a loan for your house, right? HELOC, for instance. That's one of the things, because they don't like giving trust these type of loans, so it makes it more difficult. Not impossible, but it is difficult. You've put up a barrier, all right? Because your irrevocable trust has rules. So just keep that type of thinking in line. Don't always listen to social media. You have a Google, you have an AI. They're free. Microsoft has what? Copilot. If everybody, whoever has a Microsoft account, you have Copilot. That's the AI. But you can just Google and find out too. I mean, it's not like, or whatever, whoever you use, you can just search and ask and it'll tell you. You don't even have to consult with a estate planner. All right. I mean, this is not rocket science, but I see stuff on social media where people are trying to sell something and they're like telling people that, oh, yeah, all you need is a living trust and you'll protect your assets. I'm like, what are they doing? That's crazy. Crazy work out here. All right. That's not how it's done. You got several vehicles at your disposal. You can have like an LLC, a corporation, but a corporation needs more paperwork. But you can have a LLC that owns things. All right, that can happen. So that protects you, so to speak, right? Anything in that LLC, as long as you've been running it as a business, then it's protected from any lawsuits against you, right? So these are the type of things that you should be paying attention to right now. All right? Hopefully that helps out. Hopefully I'll see you guys on Friday night. And Friday night means it's story night, ladies and gentlemen. You never know what's going to happen. And everybody who's investing in the DR, guess what just showed up today? We talk about the Dominican Republic, who has enjoyed obviously January, February, March, and I predict all three of those months are going to beat their previous year's record. And probably the month of March is probably going to do, I don't know, 40,000 to 50,000 more than they did last year is what I would probably predict them doing. It just depends on when Holy Week was. But if Holy Week was in March, then they're going to have a hard time beating last year. If Holy Week was in April like this year, then they're probably going to beat last year. So it all depends. So you got to keep things in perspective. If they don't beat last year numbers, but last year had Holy Week in March, then obviously I expect last year's number to be higher. Just like this year, since Holy Week was in April, next year, if Holy Week is not in April, then I know next year's numbers won't beat this year's numbers. It's Holy Week has 2 weeks in the DR. But here's the thing that I received today. Somebody selling a $190,000 one bedroom near the beach in Los Corrales, El Cordacito. And somebody is selling a one bedroom, 1.5 bath penthouse for $208,000. That's by the beach club. I know, Lima Beach Club, formerly known as 395 or 365 in Los Corrales, El Cordacito. It's on the beach, but not ocean view or beach view. But it's still 208,000, and the other ones in the area. This is a one time. It was built in 2011. Aha, now you're understanding why they can sell theirs for 190, right? I mean, sorry, 208. Because they didn't buy it for 208 in 2011. Actually, they probably didn't, because it's down by Los Corral, El Cordacito mostly. So I think they would probably consider that El Cordacito, but it's on the border in my opinion. But where it's located, I don't see how it would have been 250,000 or anything. It was probably like 130, 120, 100. It's a one bedroom, but it's a penthouse. All right, built 13, 14 years ago. So They can sell theirs for 190, or sorry, I keep using 190 because initially they said they dropped the price to 190. Come to find out it's 208. All right. Yes, yes. They do allow Airbnb with that penthouse unit. Yes. It was already Airbnb, the HOA, and it's at a hotel. That's right, the 365, which is now called Lima Beach. And this condo is at Grand Caribe. But it's the only one. They want out because everybody else is selling theirs for like 100,000 more if they come up on the market. This person just wants out. Now, I can guess why, because I have this problem with the occupancy rates. That's the problem. HOA, $380 per month, first of all. So, okay, 4,300 a year, which is not unreasonable for being a 1 bedroom, 1.5 bath. But here's where the problem starts coming in, because I start doing research, because I'm like, wait a minute, 190 a night would be nice. It's not ocean view. That's the other thing. From what I can tell, it looks across the street. So that the main street, you can see the main street from your window. So, it is that. But the point is, I started doing the numbers. I said, wait a minute, 190, 1.5 baths, got a rooftop. Okay. How much can I get per night? Okay, I go and look. And I'll just show you guys right now what I was looking up, because I was doing some research, talking with other people. And I was sitting there like, man, this might work. But then I put in May 15th through the 22nd. And boy, was I like, this can't be real. I'll just give you guys a perfect example. Look at this. I don't know if you can see this, but first you can see it's at the beach. It's called something Blue Cordacito Walk the Beach. 2 bedroom, 2 bath, $326 for 7 nights. When I saw that, I was like, oh man, that's disappointing. So then I said, well, let me find out what this other one is for 767. Hold on. Where's the other one? What did I do? So here's what came up next. I said, let me go see what that 767 is. And so that's the first one. Let me find the set. Here we go. 767 is also at the Blue. But again, it's a 2 bedroom. So if I'm getting a 2 bedroom for this type of price, then what am I going to get for a 1 bedroom? Yeah, I'm not going to be able to charge 190 per night, that's for sure. I'm not going to be able to charge 150 a night, because that'd be $1,000. So I was like, oh man, this is a bummer. And so here we have this one, 690, and look, 1 bedroom king renovated beach apartment, $100 a night, all in. According to the SSN Nation rules, ladies and gentlemen, I can't pay 190K, because the rule is 0.1% is the rental rate. That means $190 per night should be my rental rate. And the fact that I can't get that is clear. Now, look, let's get real. May 15th to the 22nd is nothing special. It's the month of May. It starts getting awfully humid. Like right now, it starts ticking up for humidity levels. All right? So 190 times 7 is 1330. You see a problem when the 2 bedrooms are not even 1,000. They're not even $800. So even though you have a 1 bedroom, 1.5 bath penthouse, it does overlook the main street, which I'm not a fan of that. There has its, that's a limitation, but you're still go downstairs, you walk out, you're at the beach. Pretty much, you're like 50 yards to the beach. Because it's by the Lima Beach Club. That's the on the water. So that's part of that complex right in that area. So, and so when I saw, now here's the other problem. I want to show you guys something else, which is very interesting. This was the most, this is, well, you can't really see it, but look, I don't know if you can see down at the bottom. Look at this. See where that says over 1,000 homes? Do you understand what I'm showing right now? This is Los Corrales, El Cortecito. That literally is when you start coming into Los Corrales, where La Bruja is, where Oceana is going to be. There's 1,000 units. All units haven't even shown up because you have to zoom in and they start unlocking other units in there. But that's 1,000 units for May 15th to the 22nd. So again, that was just a random date I put in because I didn't want to do last minute like this week, or because sometimes people drop their prices. So that's why I went into May, a month from now, a month and 1 week from now to be exact. And so I said, let's just see on the average what would happen if somebody showed up this next month. And so now I'm looking at this and there's no way I could even have $900 for the week. $800 for the week is out of the question. When people have 2 bedrooms for 300, 400, 600, 700. I'm like, this is insane. And then let me show you, look, that street, Alemania, however you pronounce it. That's the main street. But look at all these. Look, all over the place. This is for 7 nights. There's a 958, but I don't know what that is. This is a picture I'm showing you. I didn't look at that. But I can go see, but it's still not by the water. So 958 is probably, in fact, I know what this, no, that's not it. That's probably like a 2-bedroom penthouse unit or something. But again, look where everybody else is. That's the outlier, 958. Everybody else is under 700, except for the one, 767. And who knows about these other spots, but this is enough right here. How many people's going to bypass 400 a night? I mean, 400 for the week, 500 for the week. And then you can just walk to the beach in less than 3 minutes. And you have restaurant, bars, nightclubs, even a freaking casino. I mean, doesn't make much sense. So now you have to start asking yourself, if I'm going to buy something in this area, is a 1-bedroom worth buying for 170 grand? Is a 2-bedroom worth buying for 220 grand? Because that's what the actual markets are for things that are in pre-construction right now. They're getting 170 for 1-bedrooms and they're getting 220 for 2-bedrooms. So and again, the numbers don't dictate. So yes, in January, February, March, and maybe even April this year, for the first 3 months, and a week or 2, I might be good because there's, high occupancy. But what happens when we fall into this after April 15th and into May, and then this June, then it's July? Then if these numbers hold out for the rest of the year until December 15th, this is not good. This is really not good. 1,000 units available. That's competition, and they're going to have online. Ocean Bay should be coming on this year. Oceana should be opening up at least 1 or 2 buildings. Blue Marina should be about online by now. They should almost be ready, if not already opening up. So now all of a sudden you're going to have like another 500 to 600 units that's going to be dropped this year in that area. So if you already have over 1,000, there's going to be who knows how many. That doesn't tell you how many over 1,000. There's no way to find out. But they're going to add another 600, 500 to 600 this year in this area. And I don't know how many they're going to add down at El Cortecito, because Maple Beach is down there, and they should be delivering at least 100 units. And there's some other things going on over there. So I would be willing to bet there's like another 700-800 between the two areas that's going to be added this year. So this is playing out exactly as predicted. Prices are going to drop and then people are going to bail, is what I feel. That's why this 208,000 unit, pretty interesting. All right, we're going to find out what 380 per month. How many square feet? It's they include the one bedroom floor and they include the terrace. Altogether, the terrace and the interior is 188 square meters. I know, it's a lot. I don't know what the interior is. The interior looks just like a regular old one bedroom, and it's probably, I'd be willing to bet you it's like 1,000 square feet for the one bedroom. But see, here's the problem. They started including terrace space now, which is on the outside. It comes with a full kitchen, obviously, electric burner, which is smart, tile flooring, things like this. But the interior wise, I believe, is more like 1,000, 1,200. It's large, but the terrace is probably like 500 to 600 square feet. All total, it's 188 square meters, which is pretty big, 2,000 square feet. But see, they're including terrace space, even the balcony in the off the unit. So it's hard to say. Hard to say. You need to have a good management company, and your furniture amenities have to be top notch. My brother is doing an average of 20 to 24 nights per month at about 80 to 90. Your managers keep. Yeah. Right. So that's the thing. 90, but he didn't buy it for 90 grand. He's close, but he probably was higher January, February, March. Those were higher primetime numbers. But excuse me, 90 times. I'm gonna do simples, 24s. That's 2,100 a month at 24. But yeah, and the management is takes off a quarter, takes off 400. Then you got theirs is 340, I believe, or more, because he has what? No. Sorry. He has I don't know what size his unit is. Is it? Was it a one? It was a one bedroom, right? Yeah, it's a one bedroom. It's probably 60 square meters, 120. Yeah, so okay. So he's got a fourth is 514. So he gets about 1,400 a month during that time frame. He needs to make 17 G's for 10% annually. And we count profit, we don't count gross. So if that's the case, then you need that. How many months do we need that? I'm using 25% just for everybody to know. That's 540 plus, we'll call it 120. 660. All right. So even if he's doing the max 24 a month, 20 times 12, he'd do great if that's the case. Well, hold on. 25% of that is, he's still going to do fine, I'm pretty sure. 640. So we're down to and then 120 is 1440. So that means if he kept that rate up, then he's going to be around 10%. Now, that's based on, if anybody's doing this, that's based on 117,000. Right? So I'll round up 120 because we're doing theoreticals. Just 120,000. So we need 12,000 for 10%. So he's going to be over that. So he's over 10. Well, he should be. He should be 1,400. I don't know what's up with the 6 days, what that cost. But let's just say 15 grand. At 25% would be a normal person. He might be getting 20%, which would free up an extra 5%.
But he's doing great if he can maintain that number. But that, again, I'm skeptical about the number being able to maintain 20 to 24 at certain price points when there's a lower season, which is happening, should be happening like now. I don't know. But his unit looks awesome. If management is low, then that helps out. But yeah, he's going to be doing, and I'm just using numbers that we don't know for a fact. But I'm just going to do, like, if somebody was making 15 grand after expenses and they divide that by, let's say, 120 grand, that's 12.5%. Now, I will say this, just like any real estate property and on islands, here's the thing. You can have rainy seasons, which will happen, and you can have low seasons, which will happen, and you can have weather-related reasons why people don't show up. Last year, DR got awfully lucky. No hurricanes came on the island. They came around the island, which got a lot of winds, but they didn't get disruptive as in a hit. So one of these days, these are always the risk on the island. If there's one that rumbles through Punta Cana area and takes out that area, then you're going to be down for a month or two potentially. But again, that hasn't happened. But these are the things you have to think about when you're on an island. So I don't really mind 12.5%. I don't really mind that. That's what we're trying to shoot for, is double digits. That's what we're trying to shoot for. But the other thing is 24 out of 30. What is that? Let's go look that up. Is that 8? That's 80%. For 24 nights out of 30, that's impressive. I mean, that's really impressive. But again, let me know what it is after this. Like, we can't tell. We won't do mid-months. But when May comes, and by the way, here's the secret funny thing. June, July, and August is still high travel and tourism to the island of Dominican Republic. That's why it makes it unique. Unlike Florida, you don't really have summertime blow up like this other than to go to Disney or some of those attractions, right? Universal. But for the whole island to do that is crazy. Is awesome. All right. He's sharing the numbers. My brother pays 20%. HOA is 175. I need to ask them about utilities. He also pays 20 per month for internet. He has a swim at first floor. I'll be happy with that. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people would be happy with 12.5% and happy with 20 to 24. His one bedroom is about 860 square feet. Nice. Small unit, but he only paid $120K for it. 860 for a one bedroom is oversized. I would hope it's a one bedroom, 1.5 bath, but 860 square feet. Oh, I keep forgetting. See, they count the terrace areas now, which it always bugs me. They're doing that European stuff where studios are one bedrooms, where square footage is counting the outside of the unit because you have a terrace or a patio or a balcony. I'm like, come on, man. It's supposed to be interior. So I don't know if this is, that's probably is terrace space too, right? But 120 is a great price because I almost bought over at Cono Rock. Personally, I was there until when I found out and they said, oh no, you can't go to the Hard Rock. I was like, what? And then I realized that they didn't have any shopping out there and all that. So, but his unit is, oh, man, it's awesome, ladies and gentlemen. That's a case study. People should pay attention. He's got it. Has it looking like a high-end unit. He had a woman or a furniture designer come in and do it, and it shows very, very well. And that's part of renting out your unit if you're on short-term rental platforms. Like I always said, upscale luxury look, feel, get you rentals. And that's why you should have things built out a certain way if you're going to do short-term rentals. So he did the right thing. He paid. It was worth it. He paid extra for the furnitures and the fixtures, and according to the interior designer, he did. They did excellent work. One of these days, I'll get the link again up and I'll show it because it's beautiful. This is how you should do it, ladies and gentlemen. So anyhow, an hour and 25. Just had to let you guys know about the 208,000 one bedroom, 1.5 bath penthouse unit right by Lima Beach. It's called Grand Caribe. And now, but there's another name in front of it. Let me go find out. Condos. I think they're calling it El Cordecito now that I'm thinking about it. For sale. Let's see. But like I said, there's other people selling the same one bedroom for 330 grand. Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, they're calling it Gran Caribe Los Corrales area. So that's what it's called. But yeah, there's people saying I want 300 for the same unit, which is insane. 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 I feel insane. I can't rent for even a 150 a night around there in the month of May. I'm going to be on the hook for the month of May trying to charge people 300 per night when everybody else is charging less than 100 except for two people. Everybody else is under 100. Even two bedroom units are under 100. That's crazy. I don't want to have nothing to do with that. That to me is a no-win scenario. So we need higher. I can't find it online. So we need higher tourism numbers. All right, I'm going to end this right now because I said I was going to end it like an hour ago. But I just want you guys to be safe out here because there's stress and duress. There's a lot of people under stress these days. Jobs, finances, war, family members overseas, all kind of things is going to be crazy. Here's what it is. March inflation. Dominican Republic reaches, oh geez, oh no, 4.63%. That's not good. The reason it's good is because a lot of people that have pre-constructed projects, they they have contracts that says anything over 3 or 3.5%, they're going to have to pay the difference. So when you see this inflation numbers like this, that means if you got a place and it's 190,000, some places go, okay, 190,000, you owe us another 1%. So some people go, okay, that's 1,900 more. Then there's other ones that say, okay, you put down 20%, 38, so you owe us 150. So now you owe us 1% more, 1,500. So that's what that you know it's on an island. But get this. This is the major one right here. Here's the major one right here, which we already knew this, right? 97.8% of tourists to Dominican Republic arrive by air. Of course, how else are they going to arrive? That's why by air. You're dang right. March as they increase are booked during the 2 holy weeks. That's always a good thing. But so far, they have not mentioned it's April 8th, and they have not mentioned the tourist numbers. Whenever they do this, then I'm not expecting the tourist numbers to be that great. Because if it was good, they generally just pop it straight out. They would have already said something. So, again, I'll just do this just so we can be on course. When was Holy Week in DR in 2025? Let's go look that up. So then I'll tell you what to expect. We'll see if I'm going to be Nostradamus. It was in the month of April last year. So it was April 13th, April 20th. So then it was up through April 17th, 18th. Official holiday, April 20th was Easter. So yeah, it looks like it was all of April. And so now, what's 2026? Let's go see what they counted. March 29th through April 5th is the first Holy Week. And the 5th through the 12th. Okay, so whatever the March numbers are, well, kind of. Whatever the March numbers are going to be, that's what they're going to be. We're going to find out year over year. So both years in a row, the bulk of Holy Week is in March. April. So next year when the numbers come out for April, we'll see what the deal is. So there won't be any difference. And March last year to this year won't be much difference either. So they're not going to be skewed. All right, let's go. DIM Pals. He's sitting out here with a big smile on his face today. He's another investor, ladies and gentlemen, winning. And welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Man, he brings his tagline this evening. Good evening. Smash that like button. He gave it a 1 piece. Thank you so much, man. Tell me, I know you've been in the markets, right? Taking advantage of all the mayhem. I know you have. You couldn't have been sitting on the sidelines watching the parade go by. Because just in the last hour, another parade happened. Let me see, what is this? The top 30 USD stocks, they were at 47,940, and it triggered a downslide, and there was opportunity from the candles, and it went from, well, I'll just use part of the top, 47,940, all the way down to 47,880. So there was money to be made anytime along that timeline. And that is, let's see, that's a 5 minute. Let me go and see what an hour looked like. Oh, yeah. Oh, geez. Yeah, that looks like a long day down. It's dropping. Something must have happened overnight. Do tell. I know what happened overnight. Ceasefire didn't hold up, did it? Israel said, let me go bomb somebody. I don't want this to be a ceasefire. Predictable. Oh, my God. Oh, predictable. All right. I'm going to wrap it up. I won't get into too much tonight. Make sure, no matter what you do, stay safe and stay on the directive. Because every day that goes by is another day that the cost and the living prices rise. And stress levels rise. So any way you can reduce your stress levels and figure out a way that you can make money on your own, we're giving you a way. And with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm